Hello there, running ears. It's Manny, and there's a lot of information that's coming out. It doesn't seem like much, but if you read between the lines, there's a lot of information coming out, so we're going to go over a whole bunch of stuff. Now, this coming Tuesday, I will give you the video with the tips, so you can write them down, tips on registering for the Disneyland, which is coming up, but we have a lot of information. Yes, I'm wearing Coast to Coast shirt, and so let's get to it. First off, as usual, you guys, I'm going to continue praising you guys. You guys are doing an amazing job asking questions, messaging me with questions. Please continue doing that. Keep subscribing to the channel. We're at almost 550, so we're going to get up there. I'm hoping to get to by 600 to 700 by the end of this run period. And then hopefully next year, by next run period, which is November, hit 1,000 subscribers. So again, you guys will make my life harder, which I am in agreement with. So I had to go live. I'm going to have to do a lot more updates. And I have some stuff in the works. So guys, stay tuned to watch that. But let's get to it because I have a lot to cover. Well, first off, we had this email that had this information. Well, the email had a calendar and information about Coast to Coast. The calendar, when you click on it, has a virtual run. Registration starts April 25th of this year. And guys, so if you didn't get the email, just pause the screen, take a snapshot so you guys have an idea of everything that's going on when registration is going to be. Of course, if you keep watching the videos, I'll let you guys know. But that way, we have the next year's calendar already set for us. So for Princess, we haven't heard anything directly. But the only thing that we got is we got the Pacers, the Jeff Galloway Pacers. So let's take a look. So it has the Pacers' names, their pace, and their intervals. So guys, that way, you guys remember that they're going to have the signs up, and that way, if you look, they have their names there. So if you're going to running a particular pace, you can go there, and if the person's name, and I'm just making stuff up at the top of my, if the person's name is Manny, you're going to walk up there and go, hey, Manny, I'm going to be running with you and stuff. And so you get to know the Pacers. They're great people. They do a good job. They try their hardest to keep people on the right side of the road, doing everything the right way. So, but at least you have their information now. So I'll touch on Springtime Surprise, then I'll get to the Coast to Coast because we got a lot to cover there. Springtime Surprise, if you look what's going on with the runs. Run Disney has taken to social media to let you know that the 10-miler is still open. Now, hidden gem, guys, a hidden gem. If you're thinking of doing the Springtime Surprise, the 10-miler, whatever it is, or you're already scheduled to do this, this is a hidden gem. So it was just announced that the Flower and Garden Festival starts on March 1st. What that means is during the runs in April, they will be having that festival. This is another added bonus, is they have a concert series. Last year, during the Food and Wine Festival, we were running the Wine and Dine, and we got to watch Boyz II Men. So that's cool. So they have not announced the concerts that are going to be going on at the time. But I still remember this was the year that it was canceled. I was scheduled to watch, when I was about to run Star Wars in 2020, I was scheduled to watch Rick Springfield and Christopher Cross. So decent artists, of course they're a little bit older and stuff. But the years before on Wine and Dine, I got to see Sheena Easton. So guys, especially if you like music, it's in the back where the American Pavilion is. So guys, that's a hidden gem that people don't think about it. So again, if you're on the fence for the 10-miler and then you see a concert series that you like, maybe sign up. You can kill two birds with one stone. So Coast to Coast was open before anything that updates for Disneyland, but there is a hidden gem there also for Disneyland. So let's go over what's going on with Coast to Coast. It starts off by saying how to qualify in 2024, and there's 2 tracks. So track 1, you have to complete the Disney World Marathon and then the half marathon at Disneyland. Track 2 is the Disneyland half marathon, then any other race. Now there is some rules. Both qualifying races must be completed in the same calendar year, and you do not have to register for this particular challenge. So it's going to be pretty much the same as it was before. The only difference is, as you can see, and I'll reiterate this, is that so if you do the marathon weekend next year, 2024, the first full weekend in January, then you run Disneyland, which is a week later, you get a medal. You get a specific medal. If you run the Disneyland and you do not run the Disney World Marathon, but you run the Disneyland, and then there's 3 more runs during that year. You got Princess, you got the Springtime Surprise, and you got Wine and Dine. So when you finish those, there will be a different medal. If I'm reading this correctly, there will be a different medal. Now, here is the kicker. You can only get 1 challenge medal. So what happens is there's going to be 1 challenge medal for the first run of the year, which is the marathon weekend in Disneyland. Then there's going to be a second one. So if that makes sense, but you can only get 1. I don't know how I feel about this. I might feel a little bit different if I see the medals. My guess it's going to be basically the same medal. They might just have a different lanyard on there. So that's going to be it. But what do you guys think? Are you going to do the coast to coast? Are you going to try that challenge? You're going to try to sign up and try to do that? And if so, which one are you going to do? Are you going to do the one that's the first one of the year, the first challenge, or are you going to do the second challenge? What are you guys going to do? Now, although we have not really gotten any updates, and yes, I've been checking every day. As a matter of fact, like I said before, and I've said it and I'll say it again, I wouldn't doubt it if I make this video, release it, and this afternoon something kicks in. And so I'll update that with my next video. But we did get a hidden gem inside, if you haven't seen it already, inside the Coast to Coast. Under track 1 with part of the challenges, it does say Dumbo Double Dare. Which brings me to the point where I actually had said, I thought to myself, they're probably going to make it a Dumbo Double Dare, so now we know for a fact it's going to be a Dumbo Double Dare, which means the half marathon is going to be Disneyland. It's going to be the old nostalgic, because if you look at it, it's a little different D, and so it's going to have a medal, something like that. And what they have done in the past is something like, other characters there for the 10K, the 5K. They've a lot of times they've been something like Tinkerbell, something like that. So I wouldn't doubt it if they do that. I would doubt it if they did something like Star Wars or Marvel, but I do think that they're going to keep it Disneyland, the original. So they're again something like Peter Pan, something like Winnie the Pooh, something like that that they do for 5K and 10K. But guys, what do you guys want to see? Do you want to see a specific character? Do you want to see a specific ride, Mr. Toad? That would be an amazing 10K or 5K medal. Those should be coming up really, really soon. We should be able to see those pretty soon. Now, guys, I said I was going to answer a question. So somebody had, somebody's been messaging me, and it had to do with what I talked about last time, which was the resellers. And I just want to make sure that people are clear on this. And so, they said, tell me a little bit more, educate me a little bit more on this. And so I want to make it perfectly clear. Resellers are not bad people, so we don't want to attack them personally. And there's scenarios where, and I've even said in the past, where I can see a need for resellers, mainly because, and it's been verified, virtual runners do not get access to anything. So when you're running the virtual runs and you want to make it, you got to remember, they want to make it, they're running just in the middle of the streets doing something, that we're not doing. We're seeing characters and stuff. They want to make it a little bit more special for them. So they want the merchandise, and so they're willing to pay a little bit more. You also got to remember, they're not paying to go to Disney World. A lot of them are not, or Disney World and now Disneyland. They're not going to go there, so they are willing to pay a little bit more to get a couple of merchandise. Again, I don't blame them, and I don't blame them. Now, on the flip side, to me, there's 2 kinds of resellers. There is that reseller that is trying to make a living. So, and I have seen those when we used to have to line up early in the morning. This was going in last year and so forth. When we would line up early in the morning, I would see them there. And these people are trying to make a living. So I always think to myself, I don't want to stop anybody from making a living. I do still think there's a right way and a wrong way, but I don't want to stop somebody from making a living. And especially if there's a demand, which we've already seen that there is a demand. Okay, so now the second type is the one that I called out last time when I said the runners. Now, I love, obviously, I'm making these videos and I'm doing this for you guys and everything. So I love this. I love Run Disney. So I'm one of those people that want everybody to experience Run Disney. Is it affordable for everybody? No, it's not. As a matter of fact, I always wanted to start up a charity to where I have underprivileged children and their families go and be able to run maybe one time a year, pay for them so they would be able to go and experience what we experience with the magic that we experience. So there's people that try their hardest to get there. So in these circumstances, they actually resell some stuff so that they can make a little bit of extra money so they can afford to go. Am I 100% against that? No, not at all. Guys, I'd be a hypocrite if I would say, oh, they're horrible. They're not. Now, I learned this a long time ago. Power of intention. Their intention is not to take away something from somebody who wants something that's going to show up later. Their intention is to make their dream come true, to be there and live and experience what we've experienced, guys. So, I love this word empathy. We have to be empathetic to them and so forth. I still believe the best way to do this is going to be what they have in place. I do like the virtual queue. I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say, well, if I get number 70 and I get to go in later, then it's bad. But if I get number 10, then it's great. You know what? Whatever I get is going to be fine. So that I think that they should keep. The thing that they should do is they should only let runners in. So via email. So the people that registered via email, and again, just like they can add their families, you can add your family there. I think that's a great idea. You can add your family to the virtual queue and then get them in there. So if it's me and 3 other people, I can add those 3 people. So 4 of us get in and we are number 40. Okay, so that's that. And I do like this idea also is that you do get to pick up your bib first, and then the expo, the merchandise expo, starts a half an hour later or an hour later, and you show up with your bib. And whatever your bib is, so this is a challenge bib, I can purchase challenge stuff. If I have a 5K bib, I can purchase 5K stuff and make that for the first day of the expo. So day 1 of the expo. Maybe even the first, half of it, the first 3/4 of it, the last maybe couple of hours, open it up to everybody, and then from there on up, you open up to everybody. So that's where it goes, because Disney is also a business. They need to sell stuff, so they want to sell stuff. So they're going to continue selling stuff. So so that's where it goes. But it has to be a balance. But my point is, and I please, these people are not bad people, okay? So we cannot attack them. And I will not attack them. As a matter of fact, I empathize with them. I even get to the point where I sit there going like, maybe we could help them a certain way where if they ask for a donation, we could give them a donation. So 10 people donate $10, $5, whatever it is, to help them make their dreams come true, and they can experience stuff that we experience. And maybe in the future, maybe I'll start up a scholarship to where I can help out people do that so they can make up a little bit of money, maybe in a Disney gift card or something like that. But guys, thank you guys for being who you are. Thank you guys. I'm going to throw it over to you guys. Do you have any other questions of anything that I covered? I covered a lot. Coast to coast, Disneyland. What do you want to see? That's going to be the most exciting thing because that's coming up very soon. So what do you guys want to see? Besides that, guys, as usual, I'm going to say have a magical day. Have a magical run, and see you sooner than later.